Hey YouTubers, this is your girl Netta Marie the Doula. So I have some exciting news. This past week I hit birth number 10. Yay! I hit birth number 10 and it could not have been any better. And it took a while to get there. So this is just kind of like an overview of what happened at that birth, but then also encouragement to new doulas to keep at it. So I set a goal for myself to have at least one birth, like always have at least one client, with my main goal of also having 2 clients a month. So not only is my goal to always have a client, but also I want to get to the point where I have at least 2 clients a month. So in doing that, I set that goal or intention probably like sometime last year, so in December. And I have been really working and trying to get my voice out there, my company out there, and letting people know like, hey, like I offer doula services. So anyway, this particular time was the 10th birth, and it was very auspicious because I had been her doula at her first birth, and so being her doula again for my 10th birth was really cool, her and dad. And so just being there really just allowed me to really just sit into the fact that I am actually a doula. And sometimes, I don't know about like other doulas, but like for me, in being a doula, you almost like have to remind yourself like, yes, like you're running a business, like you're running your own business. And to me, that's kind of like a little, not daunting, but it's kind of like, dang, okay, I am running my own business, you know? And people actually like believe in you to where they will come back a second time, you know? So not only the first time, but that they come back the second time. And that's when you kind of like, wow, okay, I might have a niche for this. Like this might be a thing, you know? Because sometimes, I don't know about anybody else, but I know as a new doula, sometimes like it takes forever to get that first client, and it feels like it takes even longer to get the second one. And so towards like the 4th or 5th one, you kind of just like, man, is this really meant, you know? Not because you only have 4 or 5 births, but more so because they're not coming in like you expected. You know, like when I finished training, I was like, oh, I'm finna do this. Like this is gonna be a breeze, you know? Yeah, no, it didn't happen like that. And so I found myself like really contemplating, like, is this really for me? And then, but I still was working towards like gaining new clientele, getting my voice out there, getting my message out there. And this is at the same time as working a full-time job. So I had to figure out that balance, and still am figuring out the balance. But I'll do another video on like how to balance that balancing act of being a doula and a full-time job. But the 10th birth was amazing. And this is I think the time where like I had health professionals at this particular hospital that were amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. We were able to work together. The nurses were so nice. Mom ended up getting an epidural, and so the anesthetist was super cool. Like he allowed mom to contract before he, you know, started, and then also while she was having contractions, while he was actually in the middle of procedure, he let her know like, you know, I'll wait for a second until your contraction is over. And he was just letting her know every single step. And I know to some people like it's not a big deal because that's what they should do. But I'm telling you, like, so many moms, so many families have horror stories about getting epidurals and how that person, the anesthetist, was like they had no bedside manner. They had no understanding or maybe even a care about mom being in labor while getting this procedure done. So it was amazing. And it helped me to fully understand what it looks like to be fully supported. Now, it's not saying that like I haven't experienced great like hospital staff, like nurses and doctors. I'm not saying that, but it was like this moment, this situation was so much different. Like, it was almost like hand-picked people for her birth, which she did, actually. She had a midwife, and then she birthed at a hospital that really concentrate on mom getting the birth that she desires, and not necessarily getting it, but more so like trying to help to have the best birthing experience that she could possibly have. And then also, you know, being able to like be comfortable, because some doulas do talk about not being comfortable in the hospital, like people looking at them side-eyed and all this kind of stuff. I never really had a negative interaction as a doula yet with the hospital staff. It's always been like inclusive, which I know a lot of people can't say that, but I think it's just my disposition. And I just cater to mom. But either way, I didn't have anything to worry about with this birth. Everybody was super nice. You know, the midwife, which was amazing. She was from First Breath, and she was amazing. It's a birthing center here, but because mom had already had a C-section, they felt it was best for her to birth at the hospital. And so being able to, I was going through, you know, different alternatives and things like that with mom. The midwife was also doing that. And then the nurses were like very thorough. They asked, could they do everything? I don't care if it was like a pelvic exam or, you know, like asking her, can I touch here? Can I move this? Can I, before they were doing it, like not as they were doing it, before they were doing it, like, hey, is it okay? And there were some times when mom just was not feeling it. Like, she was like, no, not right now. And if it wasn't something that had to be done right then, they allowed her to, they gave her space. And I thought that was just super dope. Like, as a new doula, you hear of hospitals or, you know, healthcare professionals creating this environment that is conducive for mom to feel safe, comfortable as possible, and able to labor in an environment that helps her to relax. And this was that environment. Like, and I read about it, had never seen it. So this was just super dope. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But like, Birth 10 is in the books. It was amazing. I got to see some really amazing healthcare professionals who really cared about mom and dad, use their names, you know, while in the birthing room, which I can't say that happens for everybody. That may say mom's name, but they may not necessarily say dad's name, or they may just say mom and dad. It may be something that they just do, and there's no kind of like contention about it, but it's more so, I felt like it was more personable, and it was more like home-like, because they use their names. They, you know, asked them if they need anything. The midwife asked me if I had any questions that maybe mom may have should consider, you know, because me and mom, I would talk to her, you know, and making sure that she understands everything. But it was amazing. So I just wanted to hop on there and just say that I'm in my 10th birth. And if you ever are wondering, you know, when will you ever get to your 10th birth, just understand, like, just take it one birth at a time. And there is people out here that want to create a healthy and supportive birthing environment. No matter if it's the doctor, the nurses, the anesthetists, like anybody who was in that room, like we joined together, and it was amazing. Like unassisted, like it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I probably did not even go into great detail, so I'll have to jump back on and like really go into detail. But yeah, I made my 10th birth. I got it up in a book, check mark. Boop. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.